Nonetheless, though, honestly, looking at the lost picks, I feel like if pomoikas execute correctly, it's a hard game to execute because of how few reliable stuns you have. But this is the kind of game you can roll after you take like 1-2 good fights between the 20-25 minute mark. Then all of a sudden you're on the roll, you get to take that Roshan like you mentioned. And I'm looking at this Nouns draft, and if they fall behind ET, the only option for them is really relying on massive RPs. But if this game is just a normal game and they don't have an experience and net worth lead early on, I can see some decent things happening for pomoikas.
No, definitely. It's where they need to scale the way the patch is meant. If Kits can find the heart, if he can get Blade Mill Midas in a decent amount of time, if you can get a pretty nice timing on the Grimstroke Shard, then we can play Dota. Then we can actually have something here. But if we don't hit those markers, if we don't get tanky enough, if we go in and then we have to kill either our Earth Spirit or our Slaughter to make those initiations happen, then Nouns just get time, they get space, they get to scale, and then they start to really do damage. It's also where, flip the script, if Nouns ever get an Aegis, they get Stormstorm or Yuma to just go absolutely insane in one of the team fights, you've got problems. You've got big problems. Here we go, though. Lois on the rune.
Nice.
Gets it.
Very, very nice. Good clicking coming in from Lilith. So I know last game I made the wild suggestion of Kasane going safe lane. The idea was good. They got outplayed a little bit. In this game, fam, right? Would you not have rather had them play a tri-lane top with the Grim, the ET, and the Weaver, leave Slaughter by his lonesome on the other side of the map? Because honestly, your Slaughter, dude, you'll be fine. Like, playing bottom close. As long as you have, like, QW, or like QE, actually, early on, you should be okay. Is there any possibility they could have done that to try and apply more pressure onto Yuma? Make sure he doesn't actually have a good start to the game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a big reason why they might be dodging out is just because, well, Meepo's an 800 HP hero with 8 armor. It's kind of tough. It's rough to get through that, specifically. But also, I think they're reading off of Nouns' aggressiveness right now. If Nouns are going to just go into a simple 2-1-2 setup, they're going to try and consolidate and save as much regen as they can. As well as I think SMN just wants to spend as much time in this bottom lane as possible, making sure he actually has camps to play with. You can already see Lelis, he's got 2 sentries. It's where you make a trip behind the tower to block off that small camp so he can't stack and get too much damage, and then you block his actual small camp, and then suddenly this Elder Titan feels really sad, and you're lacking a lot of that damage. So I think that's where, as long as SMN can at least control one of his camps, he'll be pretty satisfied. But without that, his lane could get pretty rough, which is probably why they're sticking to that simple setup.
Oh,
that's funny.
Gonna get dewarded. Oh no, Lilith already taking away the first ward. Did this ward that they actually placed on the high ground was so genius from Lilith, because he was able to scout where the ward was going to be just by recognizing the placement. Well done for them. More control down bottom. Now we get to see how Nouns will approach this. This is also, for everybody watching, the Nouns players who played at TI, you know, Lilith and Gunner, this is going to be their debut on the new form of the team, and their debut playing in the same lane together. So we're going to see this particular pairing quite a lot over the next several months, potentially over the next year. Let's hope they get off to a good start.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. I think they've always gelled very well together as teammates. It's just now, instead of yelling out calls from the mid lane, you know, he's yelling calls right next to your ear. So now Lelis has to listen a little more, I guess. But no, it should be good. I think keeping those core teammates together is always extremely valuable, especially in team situations where, you know, the new guys start laning together. You know, you've got your own little pocket top where it's the new guys laning and we've got the old guys laning together. So some parts of the team feel the same.
In this top lane, Yuma on his specialty Meepo dealing with the Grimstroke Slaughter. To be fair, as much as this Yuma Meepo is going to become an issue later, I don't want to be here level 3 onwards if I'm against this pomoikas lineup. Grimstroke Slaughter, this seems miserable to play into in this offlane.
No, it's tough. If you ever outstep, if you try to play on these camps too much either, the same thing will happen. And oh no. Oh boy, Abyss. Just caught a little bit too far forward. I'm pretty sure he got skewered, and that's why his body is such a random spot. But at the same time, That's a ridiculous play to set up. And with level 1 telekinesis, I mean, it's just perfect from nouns. You can't really ask for a better play.
Look where this observer or the sentry ward is right now. This is what probably led to the kill. But at the same time, other side of the map, Fade about to die to Yuma and the boys. We mentioned that this lane gets difficult level 3 onwards. Nouns realizing the little gap that they can exploit. They get the kill. Very nicely done. And to make things even better, you know, it's always quite nice, of course, to get kills into your carry early on in the game. But these supports who are going to be moving around, then being able to soak up that early golden experience makes such a massive difference down the stretch. Now he's able to ferry in an additional blood grenade, a full wand, an additional clarity. Man, things are looking so much better in the top lane.
Yeah, just able to feed into it. And of course on AA, you get that Ice Blast a little bit sooner. Suddenly you're just throwing it around the map. All it takes is a shackle setup. All it takes is a lift bottom. And then you've got plays. You've got kills. You've got something to look at. Even though right now, you know, a pretty calm laning stage. Certainly more calm than the previous series. I think both these teams knowing that their timing is going to be a little bit later. Yuma especially, just waiting for that second clone, and then suddenly it's going to start to cook a little bit. But that's also where this hero is so annoying. He's got 11 armor right now. What can Grimstroke Slaughter really do? Where sadly their damage is just not in the right place to really contest Yuma, and Fly's positioning is perfect, so you can't do much there. Mid is just bodying, though. Stormstorm is not letting him get anything for free.
Hey, ET, you told me earlier today that Earth Spirit cannot lose the mid lane. What's happening, bro? What's going on here?
It's tough, dude. These international scale mid laners, they're goats. They're great. And he will get something. It's just a matter of how many creeps get denied, I guess, in front of him at this point. But hopefully he's actually able to make rotations happen. But top, again? Dude. I don't know.
Oh my god, they're about to get another one. Yuma
Body
has
blocks.
hit the level 4 mark. He's got the body blocks. You don't let the Yuma Meepo through. They let it through. They get themselves double killed. Bro, how is this actually even happening? He got to level 4 before Slaughter hit level 3.5. This is insane performance in the laning phase coming in from Yuma and Fly. Already having secured 3 kills between the two of them. And because you got those good starts, like, the Pomoika's resources required to deal with this is way too much. And bottom, Gunner's under no threat. Back top, actually, Slaughter, Fade. He's frozen up. He might be in danger yet again. They bail him out with the Ink Swirl just to keep him alive for the moment, but Yuma not going to be too stressed about this entire situation. He is playing this Meepo. He just got his full power treads. Nothing in the world for him to worry about right now.
Yeah, and beautiful part of Meepo, you send Meepo Prime back, you can poof him back out, and then you just have Meepo back in. You have so many more resources to give into these trades, and already, Fade just got here, he's half HP. He's already been beat up a little bit. Kits, though, he's trying to make something happen. He's not even level 6, but he feels the pressure.
They're going to go for Fly first and foremost, and they will succeed in getting that kill. Fly, very happy to commit his life for this. And one of the reasons why is because he's level 4. He's the same level as the Slaughter, so him getting killed off right now from a 3-hero rotation doesn't actually feel like it slows down Nouns in any particular step.
No, and then you come back mid, and, well, you hope that this rune spawns top, but here we go. Fly, looking out as well, giving some more vision. And no rune top, so now it's a race, and it's a DD rune. The Wind would love this, but now she has a play to make. She can take this DD rune anywhere and pretty much secure a kill.
She is level 6 right now, so she also has access to Focus Fire. A bit rough going on to Kit's middle, so we should try keep track of her movements, especially if she finishes off the 4 power treads before making a move somewhere. This game right now, though, for Pomoika's, some rough things have happened, but they haven't lost any towers just yet. They still are getting decent farm out of their heroes. Mid is going okay in the CS department. Top, despite the fact that he's died twice, Fade still has a pretty decent amount of CS happening for him.
Yeah, he's been able to recover. A lot of those last hits are sadly just the large camp, though. They're not the lane, because at this point, if you walk up too far, you are just going to get rooted. You're going to get double poofed. Doesn't feel great, but it's something. Getting control of that large camp is about the only thing you can say right now for Fade. Any item progression, though, is still ways off. as well as the rest of the map is just kind of simmering down. They're waiting, but nouns want to be waiting. They've got a Magnus in the off lane. He's going to want Blink before he ever rotates out. He's going to want Blink and then something. Same with the Wind. You want closer to level 10 before you really make any plays happen. And then nouns will start moving around in similar fashion to TSM. They start turning up the heat. You start feeling that pressure on the map almost instantaneously. And with 7-minute runes, supports are getting closer to their level 6s, especially Fly. And then you're going to start seeing a lot more plays happen. But look at that, Skewer. They got him. Hurts.
He's fine, dude. He's fine. He's playing Weaver. It's cool. He's got some raindrops, has a Lotus, has a lot of level 1 charges. So he is okay. I will be honest though, I've playing Weaver. I've sometimes overestimated my strength and died in that exact position, but he's okay. He's cool. They actually might make a move onto Gunner here. Inkswell going out onto this Weaver. It's not gonna connect. Gunner! Knew what's up, skewers away right in time, gets underneath the tier 1 tower, and the boy Nico survives.
You know, that's something that unfortunately we haven't seen too many supports actually been able to pull off here. Of course, the Tusks made it look so easy with TSM, but we haven't seen that twin gate, I'm going back and forth, I'm creating chaos in both these side lanes. No support has really been too successful. There's been a lot more pressure on mid today. The side lanes just don't seem to have very much kill threat. And, well, Yuma's farming. He's started moving into his own jungle. Unfortunately, I think that the mines are just a little bit worse for Meepo. I think you really do appreciate the mana regen from the well, just a shred more. But at the same time, unless somebody goes in there and messes with him, he's just going to keep farming. He's literally just A-clicking a large camp as far away as possible. He's going to start accelerating so quickly.
I'll be honest, bro. Since I moved back to playing carry, I hate playing Dire. It's so bad. Like, the mines are so terrible. Give me the wells all day, every day. I hate playing around the mines. It's not fun. Right now, though, they are trying to put some pressure onto Yuma. He does manage to get himself away. He even brought up kits to hopefully make some impact at this rotation. Sadly, he's not able to make that happen. It's unfortunate, but still, the map is still relatively open. And you were mentioning earlier this Blink Dagger that's going to be emerging from Gunner. I know that the build is normally going for the heads-up Mask of Madness on Slaughter, but should Slaughter be considering a Blink first as well to take some pressure off of Earth Spirit being the only initiator?
I would say so, but I think with the way that pomoika have kind of positioned themselves, he's honestly just getting it so that way he can try and farm a little bit more, as well as making, I think, that Roche attempt a little bit easier when they do eventually force it, because that is the move. They're going to try and make something happen sooner than it really is going to happen, and a Blink isn't going to help you out. It's no more stats. This Mom at least will help you farm, and then give you a little bit more damage in that regard, but as far as the game goes, it's not a great game for it. You don't really do anything versus Wind. Meepo, of course, it's also kind of rough. Same with Mag. You're not really countering any cores by staying on top of them here. It's where that Blink follow-up is going to be just as important, but in the meantime, I hope that they do find time to maybe take a stab at Roche, but while this goes on, 4K at 10 minutes, it's been such a low-kill game, but that's how good nouns are at pulling this net worth out of the lanes, out of the creeps. Especially Yuma, who's just starting to eclipse everybody else in net worth. He's just doing this thing.
It helps if you have two heroes to farm with. I mean, you have Meepo to be able to farm the whole map. You have Magnus with Empower. And you have Wind Ranger, who is no slouch either at accruing net worth. They need to do a lot right now on the side of Pomiokas, and they will go top, looking towards a kill onto Fly. They'll succeed in this endeavor, but it might cost Fade's life here. Yuma misses out on the full combo, but they still were able to land the Ice Blast, so the Slaughter is dead to rights nonetheless. Gunner also making a rotation towards the top lane, assisting them in getting a double kill, with Stormstormer bringing down the Love Grimstroke. And they're not done just yet. The fight's still continuing. Layla's drawing attention towards himself. He baits out the Kit's Magnetize, and sure, he dies, but he's definitely gonna set up a kill onto the Earth Spirit. The Shackle Shot prevents the roll away, and Nouns has more than enough damage as they brought in the whole damn team to take this fight, and they kill almost everybody on the Pomioka side.
Oh, and they just forced a little bit too much there. Kids with the Invis rune just felt like he needed to make something happen, but that was actually an over-rotation from Nouns. Gunnar getting involved in that first bout wasn't necessary. The fight was already over. That was a mistake from Nouns that ended up being perfect because Pomoika just decided to push their luck. And then, well, the mag's here. He stayed. What could have been a situation where they're farming 2 other lanes, they just get a little bit too reactive and then don't get to find that punish. Fly, though, is in kind of a crazy spot.
He's definitely dead, but at least he shows us that old man as he is, and I call him old because we're pretty much the same age, so I know he's ancient. Still got the J's on, still has the reactions, able to dodge the initial roll, but you are still playing Ancient Apparition versus Earth Spirit. You're dead, bro. Nothing you can do.
Yeah, there's no hope. But at least they're still trying to make these plays. They're not going down quiet. Getting Blade Mill on the Earth Spirit. Now looking at some more items on Fade. It looks like with this Mask of Madness, Fade is planning on just kicking out his Weaver from this top side of the map for as long as he can manage until he gets that blink. And that's the nice thing about the Mom. You can actually farm these Ancients pretty darn quick. You're not going to get slowed down too much, even though I don't know what he's going to do about this Ancient stack. It's only 2, but even 2 kind of is a pain to take out. But at the same time, 5k net worth, 12 minutes, no sign of Yuma slowing down at all. Just got his 3rd clone. It's a little bit worrisome. Not to mention, Gunnar just kind of casually shows off his Blink Dagger in the bottom lane just because he doesn't have reverse polarity for another minute or so whenever he has it. But the plays are just going to start for Nouns. They're just going to keep playing. They're going to keep playing aggressively. They're going to lock you out. And now that Lelis has Shikuchi, he's going to keep on stealing it, and instead of playing, he's just going to farm. He's going to accelerate in his own way.
You know, 2 things are going to be happening for me today, which are very interesting. Number 1 is it's been a long time since I've praised the Rubik player. So far, Lilis is doing quite well. And number 2, you know, I've actually never in my professional career actually heard somebody refer to RP as reverse polarity. Like, during a cast. The first time in my entire life. I've never heard that before.
It's just a fun word. It's just a fun word. You say it fast enough, it's just like RP.
Reverse polarity. Okay. Alright, now you're stuck. You're gonna have to refer to every ultimate with the full name. Like, no nicknames. There's always just a full text-based ability all the time. Including items. Yes. Including item actives.
Yes. When the Slardar Guardian sprinted in Mask of Madness, and then he Slytherin crushed all over them. I love when he did that.
He didn't use Mask of Madness, he used Berserk. The Mask of Madness active. Yeah.
I see. The map is looking gross, though. Even now, I'm seeing Yuma spreading out. He's in both Ancient camps. Look at how annoying Lelis is. He's going to lift him. Oh,
that's worth it. Like, even if he dies here, he got Corrosive Haze so they can see him through the Sakuchi. He's definitely going to lose his life, but honestly, worth it. You drew a 3, technically 4 hero rotation now, because Grimstroke was trying to TP top, and you got the Wisdom Rune. Hashtag worth, dude.
No, it's something that Nouns have been so good at in this game is they just pull heroes around the map. And it's a combination of Pomoika feeling like they need to have that response, but also because Nouns just give you that threat. They don't show all the time. You don't know who's actually coming to a lot of these engagements. When 9 times out of 10, it's just a bluff. It's just them farming everywhere else. And okay, sure, Storm is going to get kicked out. Abyss says, give me my creeps back. But these are not the Weaver timings you want to see. He's pretty darn farmed, but even now, he's not close to that Deso. Usually, you want to be looking at least half the shard, have the Deso now, then you're pretty happy, but it's tough goes. Gunnar does get spotted.
He doesn't even have a Falcon Blade, right? Normally, that's the power spike you want by now. Falcon Blade, the Treads, and the D-Lance heading into the Deso, but without these tools, has to play a little bit more cagey. Nouns take advantage of this by not just taking the tier 1 tower, but they are playing very aggressively into the jungle. Trying to take lives, but primarily gain some control and vision. We'll see where Lilis decides to plant his wards out, as he's carrying some, as well as where Fly is. And Fly. Alright, with these wards being placed down, as we saw in the previous game, once you're dealing with these wards, prior 20 minutes, yeah, you don't have a jungle anymore. You only have to play on the other side of the map. You cannot do this safely on the side of Pomoika's.
No, it's something that these teams, especially the veterans, do so well. They know what part of the map they want to gate off. They know where we can slow you down, where we can stop your play. And right now, if Pomoika really wanted to, they could move everybody towards top. They try to do that Roche before he shifts down towards bottom, and I think that's honestly their best bet. They can find a pick with this Blink Dagger, even better. And right now, they are angling, looking for Lelis. He doesn't have Shikuchi, so looking for him would be great. And they guess up, and then he steals it again.
No. Dude, he was actually trying to bait Love to throw out the dust, knowing full well he'd be able to escape anyway, but not only does he steal Sakuchi, he plants some vision on the way out. So if they were going to re-engage, Yuma is right there, ready to help him, beating them back. This is very frustrating. I suppose, you know, this is the only circumstance we'll see Rubik do well right now, right? Stealing Sakuchi. Without the Sakuchi, trash hero. With Sakuchi, pretty good.
Yeah. And worst case scenario, you just farm it. Oh, the net. It does land onto Abyss, but
I've got time.
Yuma,
He's fine.
He knows better too. Yuma doesn't want to give his opponents anything. They want to keep waiting. They don't know who's on that twin gate, so it's very patient play. But here we go. Pomoika, they've angled themselves towards top. I think they're just waiting for this Deso on the Weaver, which they would love before they go into the pit. So I think they're going to decide to go for this tier 1 first, but it's just so much slower than what they were expecting. This is their forcing move. This is why they pick up the Slardar, and they can't make that forcing play. In the meantime, now just farm everything. Everybody on their team right now, aside from Fly, is gaining net worth. You're going to have a Blink Dagger on Lelis soon. Yuma's still farming both Ancients. Stormstormer's getting whatever the hell he wants. And now, finally, they decide to move in towards that pit. But it's going to be quite a while. And look, immediate scout.
Not only immediate scout, so the Deso is en route. If they had the Deso, they could have maybe tried to go for this move, but it still hasn't arrived just yet. For comfort on this Weaver. It's about to fly in, but it's too late. The fight's already coming in. Nouns have a Blink Dagger on Magnus. There's several heroes in front of him. Will he find the RP? Doesn't go for it just yet. Skewers back the Slaughter. Fade is falling very, very low, but with the amp damage, they turn around with kits and demolish Gunner. On the far side of the fight, Comfort is by himself. He got shackle shotted. Oh no, Weaver's gonna die. Kits right now gonna get controlled in by Yuma and Stormstormer. They're able to bring him down as well. Fade and the boys realize what a predicament they're in. They're trying to flee the fight. They'll manage to do so, but they've lost their talisman in the Weaver. They've lost their tempo controller in the Earth Spirit. And they've lost any deterrent to keeping Nouns outside of the Roshan pit. As you were mentioning how good Weaver is with Deso at taking Roshan, guess what, ET? Meepo, also pretty damn good at going into the pit himself.
No, and now we're in a game of chicken. Everybody has to wait, because now no way is Pomoika going to make that same move without getting eyes on Gunner. And Nouns do have to respect the Elder Titan, which is the only reason why that fight almost looked good for them. But in both situations, cores just overextend. And again, they get Gunner. Just stuck in the river, just moves away from his own team's vision. Makes the game a little bit harder, but this also immediately goes in. Space!
That's what I'm spamming right now, bro. I'm just like, space. It's fine, boys. I made space. You know, one of the things that I'm glad about with Gunner moving into the offlane, there were several times I'd see Gunner make like space-making plays on the map, but because of how much net worth and attention he commands on the team, it feels very wasteful. But when you're the offlane, it's fine, bro. You'll die in the river. Make space for your team. It's all good.
No, it's very freeing, I can only imagine. Because, like you said, he likes to be the initiator. He likes to go in. He likes to put himself at risk. And now, it's not the end of the world if you die because you don't have 20,000 net worth and a 3k buyback that you have to worry about in the back of your head. You're just farming, playing mag. I mean, hell, he's still top 3 net worth. He's doing pretty great for himself. And once he gets his harpoon, well, you get the little bit of insanity that the heroes garnered at this point.
Oh,
but Stormstormer.
No,
okay.
Stormstormer. EKB with the Maelstrom. Easy kill onto the Slaughter. Now SMN might be following the Slaughter into the grave. Trying to TP out right now, but I think they have the damage. And even if they didn't, Stormstormer ensures he has a shackle shot. So 2 free kills right off the back of getting an Aegis. That does, I think, several things for them. Not only the free gold that they get, but while they were getting the Aegis and Gunner was dying mid, there was some slight pressure being exerted in the mid lane, but already look where the wave is. It's being shoved in. Nouns reclaim the advantage here. They were already farming bottom. Top lane has no inroads to the Radiant side. Man, those 2 kills just feel like they've opened up the map so much for Nouns, even though at the time it wasn't that consequential.
Yeah, Yuma gets easy Torm kill. Lois gets an upgraded shard. Lois also got Chikuchi again in the bottom lane. He just always finds himself in the same lane as Abyss and then gets the best spell that he could ask for. Doesn't have too many great steals this game. I guess most of Grimstroke stuff is pretty great, but he will just keep on getting Chikuchi and just keep farming. And I don't think there's any good way for them to kill Torm on Pomioka's side. They'd have to bring quite literally everybody. And in the meantime, now it's just farm. They farm everything. As soon as Yuma wants to leave the jungle, he already has the Ag, so he's not in danger, but Abyss?
Look at Comfort, Abyss. Dude, he's so lucky that Lilas doesn't have Blink Dagger just yet or anything. Barely survives by the skin of his teeth. But does have to vacate the bottom lane, so that's a tier 2 tower that Nouns get to claim for free. While they also pressure... Dude, this Meepo play is disgusting. You get to take a tower while still pressuring another lane with definite inroads to taking that tower. All of this before even thinking about the Aegis expiring. This is so oppressive to play against.
Yep. They've still got another 2.5 minutes on it. Right now, Pomioka is just thinking, when are we going to use our glyph here? We already didn't glyph our bottom towers, so do we save it now? We kind of have to for these tier 3s. And as soon as Yuma wants to, he just decides to lock everybody in the base. Already, you see Pomioka having to rotate, having to sit on the high ground. And again, they lose out on net worth. They lose out on farm. They're getting cut off everywhere. And look at these beautiful towers in the top lane, just ripe for the taking. The next spot where Yuma's already moving, they're just leveraging everything. Yuma's about to have Blink Dagger as well, so he's going to start making his own fights happen while they keep 4 heroes bottom. It's just textbook. It's clean. It's not dirty Dota at all. It's just exactly what they need. And smoke up from Pomioka, but then Lewis breaks it, and okay.
Here comes the RP! Here comes the RP! 2 heroes caught into an Ice Blast directly on top. Fade gets taken out by a power shot. At the same time, though, they are able to counter this directly onto the Magnus with enough damage. But here comes the Yuma Meepo. He's going for kits. Will easily be able to find him. SM got a very good Echo Stomp against the Mega Meepo, but still will probably end up dead here. Yuma throws forth one of the Meepos. Doesn't even need to connect with the net. They end up easily getting the kill. Going forward now for our Grimstroke. No way out of this one, buddy. He is going to be the next one on the chopping block. A triple kill for Stormstormer with the power shot. And Nouns. Oh no! Comfort! He came back into the fight on the very edge of it with this Weaver. The Weaver is dead for sure. Unstoppable for Meepo. A full team wipe for Nouns. And this game looking absolutely impossible for Pomioka. It feels like they're just way too far behind ET. And their heroes do not come back into this game in time.
No, and this is at least going to be you getting your glyph forced out to save your melee, even though I don't even know if you can shove them off at this point. At least backdoor kicks in for a few seconds, and well, they're trying to stick around here, but Yuma's just fighting. He can fight. He can afford to do this.
Him and Stormstormer just eviscerate Fade. BKB now popped by the Wind Ranger, so he has nothing to fear from an under-leveled Earth Spirit. Can easily get himself out of dodge. They take the melee racks. They don't really care about the range. They'll be back for this eventually. And I feel like it's one thing, ET, when you're losing team fights on your own high ground. It's quite another when the enemy can leave 2 heroes alone to take a lane of racks, pass backdoor protection, succeed, and get out with barely a scratch. Yeah, that does not bode well for your prospects.
No, it does not. Now, it's just the rest of Nouns poised. They know the map's going to handle itself at this point. There's no glyph. They have free range over the entire map for the next 4 minutes. Anytime they show any pressure in the lanes, Pomioka has to come back. Otherwise, they're going to lose another objective. It just feels like there's so much working against them at this point. Only thing you can hope for is just that this hard-on kits, maybe a few BKBs, something starts to change in their favor, but there's no Grimstroke Ags to look forward to. Not that it would really even help that much at this point. You are kind of just waiting on Nouns to look for you and then trying to hope that they're not killing the most important member of the team, even though right now they are looking for the Weaver.
They're gonna look for the Weaver. The question is, will they be able to find him? And it seems the answer is no. For now, at the very least, Weaver will be able to escape the gank squad coming in his direction. Sadly, the same is not true of their Ancients and just their map control. Just everything they want to do in Dota. None of it's possible at the moment.
No, and then Human decides, yeah, it's time. Time to take your tier 1s, and we're going to set up for your tier 2s. Nobody's ratting, nobody's getting in. Even in the bottom lane, where it's undoubtedly the safest part of the map, it's 4 heroes babysitting 1 hero trying to get whatever farm he needs as their buildings just crumble. Because they know there's nothing they can do for those outer towers. We're going to have to take high ground a little bit more seriously. The bigger problem is going to come whenever the second Roche respawns, if nouns even decide to wait for it, because then you have to come out of your base. Then you can't just afford to sit idly by. As well as Stormstormer. Well, he's down here. This could be your play.
Stormstormer, he does have BKB though, so he's able to turn this around. Get the shackle shot out onto Fade. He's trying to run himself out of this, and reinforcements have now arrived. Fade is going to be dead to rights. Ice Blast connected onto the Weaver. He's forced to time lapse back, but now he's out of mana here, ET. He needs to run, and he needs to run fast. They're going to try and draw away attention with the Grimstroke heading towards the north-hand side, and that should be good enough to enable the rest of the team to escape, even if it costs the Grim's life. Godlike streak for Stormstormer. Bro, that is crazy. When you can be dangling yourself in between a tier 1 and tier 2, alone, draw in 4 heroes, BKB out, and still get a kill on 2 before just coming back as normal. Yeah, game is very, very, very fun for you.
And then look at Stormstormer. Runs immediately back to the polar opposite side of the map, kills your 5, and then runs away.
What do you mean, Stormstormer? This is Chad Shadow, bro. This is something else coming in from him.
He's just a bad guy. And with the Elder Titan dead, Yuma's not afraid anymore. He's going in, and well...
Holy smokes. They find the RP. Ghana getting the connection. Fade is already gone. Ice Blast coming through over the top. Doesn't connect onto the Weaver, but it doesn't need to. Kit's dragged away by Ghana before he kicks the bucket. But he has enabled his team to bring down the enemy mid laner. It is a 3-for-2 affair, or 3-for-1 affair, technically. And now, tier 3 tower. Very easy to bring down. Yuma posted up as the Mega Meepo. Aegis or no, he's more than strong enough to just stand here forever. And this should enable them to get their second lane of Rex. Don't think there's any fight left in the side of pomoika to stop this. But at the same time, they post up a little bit with the Comfort Weaver. And he finds himself immediately shackle-shotted. It's actually really funny. Stormstormer's like, guys, let's kill him. And the rest of Nouns is like, bro, what value is there killing this Weaver? I'm taking Rax instead.
Yep. Just objective focused gamer. They tank a full Elder Titan combo, and that's the sad thing about that hero. You do everything. You keep the Meepo stunned. Everybody's locked down for a good bit of time, but you've got no more damage to follow up with it. Your Weaver with Ag Shard can't get close to the fight at all without risking dying. Cheeky Stormstormer continues to be annoying and does not get the Wisdom Rune, but is still pretty satisfied. And the real bad news, as soon as Nouns want to scout it, this Roche is cooperating with them wholeheartedly. They're saying, yep, Yuma, anytime you want, come check it. 2 seconds, Yuma's positioned himself just to be here for the Roche. Gonna take a few more seconds, and well, this is absolutely free. A super late Roche time would have favored pomoika. It would have given them some more leeway, but no, it's Nouns all the way for this Roshan.
So I want to just hype up Yuma a little bit more. I'm going to do this twice, now and at some point after the game. You see this disperser item that he bought, right? Not an item that is bought. So 2 things. Firstly, some really smart people at TI convinced me that this item is actually really good. Because I'd never bought it myself, but I got talked into it because it's actually pretty good. It's just the circumstances to buy it don't come along all that often, right? Well, in this game, Yuma's purchase of this disperser is the second fastest of all time. The only person who built it faster was Nisha and Sniper, who rushed the damn thing, building nothing else in between getting disperser. And Yuma got this after Skadi, Power Treads, Ags, Blink Dagger. Are you kidding me? Who is this guy, dude? What a player.
I know. We'll see the GPM. We'll see the XP per minute, which I know is kind of fake, but I don't know. He's been killing too many buildings, I think, to break any records, but it's just disgusting. But no, Disperser, it's sad because it's an item that really got brushed under the rug by the rest of the meta for, you know, a decent reason. But it's a cool item. I think the first person I saw who started buying it was Watson, actually. Whenever he would just get it, maybe 3rd item on Terrorblade, and then like, oh my god, he's farming everything. Being fast is kind of cool. It's the skewer, the shackle.
You were talking about speed, ET. Look at the speed of that execution. They get the massive assassination onto the Weaver, forcing him to buy back into this engagement. Fade on a very good crush onto Yuma, but unfortunately the Mega Meepo comes in. They do not have the damage to get past this. It is 30 armor, 5,400 HP. You are not killing Yuma at the moment. And he still has an Aegis if you somehow manage to get past them. And now what? They're watching their base get destroyed right in front of their faces. Megas are about to emerge. Shackle Shot came out onto Comfort, but he does manage to get off the BKB. They're going back onto Stormstormer, but the RP from Gunner catches 3 heroes. Weaver's gone, so is the Earth Spirit. And now that Fade has fallen, they have no more core heroes left. They have no more prospects left. So they throw in the towel. Pomoika's tap out, and Nouns will take a decisive Game 1 victory, showing us the versatility of the offlane Gunner, showing us the power of Stormstorm on the Wind Ranger, but crucially, showing us the